Like if you're using Splatalites, watch. A lot of people really didn't seem to understand this from the previous video, so I want to make sure that you guys understand this. If you're using Splatalites and you never miss your target, you're still never going to trigger concentrated fire. See how we're staying at 1046 as the Splatalites hit the targets? It really should be triggering after 3 attacks. So a lot of people are telling me in the comments, I just won't miss my target while I'm using Splatalites, and I'll be fine. Because anytime that it hits a target, I'll just re-trigger my concentrated attack, and I'll be fine. That's what a lot of people are saying. And my entire point of the last video was that I wanted to warn people is you won't be fine if you do that. In your head, the math seems okay, like, oh, I'll just re-trigger it every few shots. But in reality, it's pretty bad. I'll show it to you guys here with Splatling. So here we have an ABC Splatling with no skills. I'm going to go into my speed tank, and I'm going to equip concentrated attack here. And so I did have a lot of people telling me in the comments that they were just going to shoot really fast with their Splatling, and they were going to be perfectly fine and trigger that concentrated attack. And I just want you guys to know that that's not possible, and it's not going to happen. Notice how our damage never goes up from 8,712. If you are using certain gadgets, they're just fundamentally incompatible with your weapon. You're not going to rapidly re-trigger it every few shots, while this damage over time is rapidly triggering on a dozen Salmonids. If you really only hit one target at a time for all 90 seconds in the Bottomless Buffet, I am very impressed. Let me know how it goes. Area of effect gadgets like the fan are so essential to managing higher difficulty levels in the Bottomless Buffet. I really cannot recommend this concentrated attack skill, even though it's tempting to think that you're going to trigger it and re-trigger it repeatedly using Splattershot Jr. and Splatling, and it literally just doesn't happen. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that properly in the last video. I had to explain a lot about how the concentrated attack skill works before I could explain this quirk of its with being reset by the gadgets. But I guess a lot of people who already knew the first part about concentrated attack just kind of clicked off the comment without being interested in the rest. So hopefully that this is a better showcase that, look, when you aren't using the gadget, you go up to 8,421, right? 7,260, 8,421. Now let's toss out the fan, and you just stay at 7,260. And it's rapidly ticking on those dummies, and you're just staying at 7,260. Because those dummies are staying in the area, and once that fan disappears, we instantly rocket back up to 8,421. So to everyone saying that they will run Splatalites and fan with their Splattershot Jr. and Hydra and concentrated attack, and they're going to be perfectly fine, I just wanted to show in this video that it really isn't going to be fine, and it's easier to demonstrate in a video than debating in the comments, because I don't really like doing that, honestly. I just like to make nice videos where I help people out. So if there's a misunderstanding, I'd much rather just make another quick video about it. Hopefully that clears things up. Obviously, there are valid use cases for this skill, as I showcased. Brella is great with it. Stringer is great with it. And if you're pushing for gimmicky single target damage, like in my Charger video, then, you know, use concentrated attack for some bonus damage. Absolutely. Just know that it's not going to be up 100% of the time. I'm not saying to never use it. I'm saying to stop using it in scenarios like fan plus Splatling, because there's no way to activate it. Now, there are 2 situations where this skill is absolutely valid, and that would be the 2 weapons that fire off all of their shots in controlled bursts. So someone brought up that I was looking over Brella, and that is absolutely true. It is pretty easy to hit all of your shots on a single target with Brella, because that's literally what it's meant to do. You just press your face up against it and smack it. If you want to do melee damage, concentrated attack, and freeze shatter, that actually does work on Brella, because when you shatter an enemy's ice using the Icebreaker skill with Brella, the Icebreaker skill has a quirk where after an enemy's freeze wears off, any shots dealt to it within an extremely short amount of time do actually count for the shatter as well. So I have this Primo Alpine Stringer I finally got and set up, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you here. Now, you do want to be hitting the target with all of the arrows, so you got to step really far back. I'm usually pressed up right against the enemy, so I'm usually like, oh my god, how do I hit them with this? And I think the answer is having a good build that gets you in the air. We're kind of getting high up from a good vantage point. So we have an Explosure here with concentrated attack, which has consecutive fire increased by 10% damage. In order to trigger this, you need to hit the same target 3 or more times. However, a lot of people did not seem to understand my explanation in the previous video, which is that this concentrated attack skill is literally impossible to activate when using specific gadget setups. So as you can see here, the Splatalites are repeatedly hitting Salmonids around me, And we've been saying on stream that a lot of us are using Splatolite, so it's not like I'm just talking about myself here. The menu here shows the base damage for a direct hit is 26,889. We have no damage modifiers on. Consecutive fire should be triggering as we do 3 or more attacks, and it literally is just not. A lot of people did not seem to understand my previous video on consecutive fire, as I called it, or concentrated attack, mainly because a lot of people just watched the start of the video and then leaped to criticizing it, and they didn't watch the second half. So here I am doing a separate demonstration of the second half of the video, which is only a few minutes long, by the way, just so I can show you that my favorite gadget here is not allowing concentrated attack to ever trigger. Now, I was going to include demonstrations on multiple gadgets in the previous video, but sometimes people will say that if you explain something using multiple examples, then that's padding the video, and you're trying to get watch time. So it's kind of a lose-lose. Hopefully this video isn't too long, and it demonstrates that my concentrated attack, or consecutive fire as I call it, due to the description, my bad, is literally never triggering in situations where you use damage over time gadgets, like the Splatolites or the fan, which are some of the most powerful gadgets in the entire game, thanks to their egg collection over time effects triggering on their damage. With love and peace, thank you so much for watching.